So, Dr. Serene, we will also record this meeting. So,
Yeah, can. But my slides may not be so in depth lah. So because I was expecting a group of people that may not have the background.
it's okay, but later they can ask you.
Okay, can.
Yeah. Okay, I think now we can start because it's 1 o'clock. Now we have, yeah, it's okay lah, 27 participants, maybe 25. Is it okay, Dr. Serene, if we start?
Yeah. We can. Yeah, because we also don't want to cause the nervousness of the students later. They need to sit for exam, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I will start. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and all the participants. Thank you very much to be here with us to attend this i3L Power Talk with Assistant Professor Dr. Serene Tung En Hui from the UCSI Malaysia. So today our agenda is Virda, please Virda. So we will have an opening, which is now, and then we will have the presentation from Dr. Serene. And I encourage everybody to ask questions and put your questions in Q&A chat box. Yeah, we will have about 15 minutes for that Q&A, and towards the end, I will invite Mr. Roland Chan to present, to give us an overview about UCSI, yeah, while you are filling out the evaluation form. Next, so in order to maintain the conducive condition situation for this webinar, please to mute your audio, and then if you have any questions, put it in a chat box, and we do expect you to fill in the evaluation form towards the end of the event, as well as the attendance list. Yeah, this evaluation and attendance is important for us as a review of our activities. And for those who send the evaluation and the attendance, we will send you a certificate of attendance. And then next, so it's a little bit introduction about Assistant Professor Dr. Serene Tung En Hui. As her study is focusing in community health and community nutrition. So we will learn from her. Her work, especially in the field of community nutrition. Yeah. And recently, she is appointed, let's say, or is a member of this newly established an association, Malaysian Association of Study of Obesity, as well as the Malaysian Society of Body Composition. So these two associations are new, but I think these two associations will have a good future. In addition to that, she is a member of the Nutrition Society of Malaysia. For the Nutrition Society of Malaysia, this organization has been a long established and with a lot of work in nutrition, well-known work, let's say. And then next, I think the next slide show the publication of Dr. Serene, and most of the publication is related with the work in the community, in the field of overweight, obesity, and also among children as well as among adults. I think that is the short introduction about Dr. Serene. So first of all, I would like to thank Dr. Serene, and also Roland to be here to share their knowledge, as well as this is one of the activities that we have conducted in order to strengthen our cooperation between i3L and UCSI. So Dr. Serene, time is yours, please.
Thank you, Dr. Siti, for the kind introduction. But I think I need to be enabled to share screen by the host.
Wirda, please, would you please to?
Yeah, I can't share. Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Siti. I think because of all this virtual and everything, we actually have seen each other online, but we have never seen in real. Yeah, okay, it can quite surprising that I got to know that actually we have met before in some of the events that were organized previously. And I hope that Dr. Siti, you can join our upcoming conference. Yeah, I'm not sure Dr. Mahan has shared with you.
Yes, I have received that.
All right, I think I can share now. Okay, give me a moment. Yeah. Now, can you see my slides?
Yes. It's
Yeah,
appeared.
right. Yeah, so today I'll be sharing with you a topic that is entitled Childhood Obesity, a Growing Crisis. And I think this situation is not something that is new to everyone here, because we know what is happening right now. Yeah, okay, with the COVID situation, it definitely has escalated also situations that's related to the obesity crisis. But today I'll be more into a very general explanation with regards to the current situation. And I will share a little bit about my research findings that throughout the past 10 years I've been working on, yeah, I guess since my undergraduate, since my master's degree until recently, yeah, okay, some of my publication that is related to child obesity and some of the interesting findings that I've found in my research. So, these are the outline for today's lecture, yeah, okay, looking into the epidemiology and also the prevalence and the definition of child obesity, okay, what are the causes with regards to obesity, the consequences, and also looking into a bit on the prevention, yeah, okay, which I will just be sharing a little bit, yeah, okay, in this aspect. Okay, now, give me a moment, yeah, okay, there seems to be a bit of a hiccup. Okay, all right. So, so I think a lot of us knows what's child obesity all about. Okay, these are some very classic pictures of situations that we can observe among children nowadays. Yeah, okay, where even very young children at the age of like perhaps even 2 years old, which you can see this little girl here. Okay, she's actually only 1.5 or 2, yeah, but yet she's actually overweight and obese. And I believe this little girl also is perhaps only 3 years old. Yeah, okay, and you can see that they have Michelin hands, you know. Okay, it can be something that people view as adorable when they are young, but it is actually a situation that is of a concern, because as they grow older, okay, there are many health-related complications that will join in together with the obesity situation that they are currently having. And in fact, this little girl, okay, which is from India, she has issues with regards to even mobility, you know, okay, moving from one place to another because of her weight, and she gets very frustrated because she can't really move from one place to another, where the parents actually have to be the one that carries her. But yet, due to her weight, it can be difficult. Now, a lot of times obesity is related to also, you can see here the big M, yeah, okay, which I'm not gonna elaborate much, but it's also a lot to do with the things that we consume and the things that we eat. Now, worldwide, around 39 million children under the age of 5 has been reported to be overweight or obese, yeah, in 2020, according to the WHO statistics, yeah. And over 340 million children and adolescents aged 5 to 19 were overweight or obese, okay, as reported in 2016. Now, let's have a look at how it is like, okay, in terms of the prevalence of obesity, yeah, okay, in different countries, yeah, okay. So these are comparisons between boys and girls. So this is actually the prevalence for the girls. This is the prevalence for the boys. And you can see that the boys' prevalence are a little higher, okay, with the increasing color of red. It indicates that the prevalence are actually higher in these regions of the countries in the world in comparison to other parts of the world. Let's have a look where Indonesia and Malaysia is. It's a little bit small here, but we can see that Malaysia is actually also in the danger zone, the color itself. Yeah, so it's an indication that it's not just happening in other countries in the world, but it is also happening even in our region. Yeah, okay, even in the Southeast Asia region. Now let's have a look at in comparison, okay, between countries, yeah, okay, in the aspects of childhood obesity, yeah, okay, and division by number of girls and boys with obesity in 2015 by country, using the International Obesity Task Force growth reference. And you can see that this is actually for the girls, yeah, okay, the leading is China, right, okay, followed by India, okay, United States of America, Brazil, Nigeria, Egypt, yeah, okay, Indonesia, where's Malaysia? But this is actually for those that is aged 2 to 4 years old, yeah, 2 to 4 years old. Now, same goes to this one, yeah, okay, you can see here also, yeah, okay, the distribution, and Malaysia is also here, yeah, okay, similarly. But both of these statistics are actually for younger age groups, yeah, younger age groups. That means we're talking about those that's actually less than 5 years old per se. So a lot of people actually view that those that's below 5 years old are not of a concern, yeah, because they have all these ideas, okay, which myth. In fact, it's not an actual real situation where they say they will grow out of the fat, you know. I think you have heard this, okay, from a lot of parents actually say it's okay, you know, they are just cute at this stage, you know, okay, and slowly they're gonna grow out of that fat, the baby fat that they're having, you know. But the statistics shows that that is not exactly the truth, yeah, okay, because we have seen a lot of situations where these children, as they grow, even past the age of 5 years old, past the age of 10 years old, past the age of 15 years old, they are still actually slightly at the higher side of being overweight and obese. And if you were to compare those within this region, yeah, let's have a look at the child obesity situation. If I were to put Malaysia in the map, yeah, okay, actually Malaysia is number 2 in this region. Number 1 is led by Brunei. Yeah, okay, 14.1% of the children there is actually overweight and obese. Sorry, it's obese. Yeah, okay, this is mainly the obesity prevalence. And you can see here, Indonesia is actually here, Thailand, yeah, okay, Vietnam, but Vietnam is starting to pick up, okay. You can see because of the situation, because of economic situation, that the children are now also growing, yeah, okay, not only in height but also sideways, to the what we call as nutrition transition, yeah, nutrition transition. So yeah, we are in for Malaysians, yeah, okay, it's definitely a concern, but it's not just a concern of Malaysia itself, but also in other parts of the region in Southeast Asia region. Yeah, okay, we definitely have to be very aware of the situation. Yeah, okay, with regards to childhood obesity. Now, I think the definition of child obesity or overweight is not something new that a majority of you are pretty familiar with this. Overweight and obesity can be defined as an abnormal or excessive accumulation of fat that can be harmful towards one's health. Yeah, and this is the definition by the World Health Organization. And oftentimes it's all to do with body fat. Yeah, again, usually because of the body weight too. And what are the best measures of obesity, yeah, okay, and overweight in actual fact? I think there's a bit of a noise coming from those. Perhaps if, let's say, you could turn off your mic, then there will be a bit less distraction for everyone in the room. So now,
Bapak Muzaffar Ilyas, Bapak Budiarto Eko Kusumo, could you please turn off your mic? Or Wirda, can you mute all the participants?
So let me continue. Yeah, okay. So body mass index is something that I think is the most common way of measure. Yeah, okay. And I think everyone here, I'm not sure what's the gold standard reference that's used in Indonesia, but in Malaysia we are using the WHO growth reference 7. Yeah, okay. And body mass index is usually very, it's a very quick fixed cutoff point that can be used in adults, and it's very minimally affected by age. Yeah, okay. And it's also very, very popular. But in children, it's a little bit more tricky because it is greatly affected by age. Yeah, okay. And also by sex or gender itself. So that is why we need to refer to what we call as the charts that's specific, okay, that is age specific. And you can see here that these are the two commonly used charts. Yeah, okay. I'm not showing the one that is less than 5 years, okay, but more to the 5 to 19 years. Yeah, okay. And if indeed you would like to know more about the WHO growth reference chart, okay, you can actually go to the website, which is also yeah, okay, it's provided here in this link. Yeah, you can go to this link itself. So now we know that when we talk about BMI-for-age charts, yeah, for boys and also for girls, it is age specific. It is month specific, yeah, okay, especially for those that's less than 5 years. It will be something that is of a concern if we actually do not look at the month per se, okay, because every month, yeah, we know that every growth of the little child actually changes as they grow. Okay, the change is, I would say, tremendous. Yeah, okay, especially during the first year of life. So that's why it's very important. Oh, I think it's.
I'm sorry, I have text him, but not yet.
Okay, all right. I just worry the rest of the people find it distracting a little, but it's okay. I'll continue. Yeah, okay. Where did I start? So it has to be age and also gender specific. Yeah, okay. And you can see that these charts are also labeled. Yeah, okay, with the categorization for those that fall above here of these category. within this range, okay, from the 2 standard deviation to 3 standard deviation in Z scores, right, okay, it will be considered as overweight, so on and so forth. Same goes to the girls and also the boys. Now, it's a little bit difficult if, let's say, if you have 1,000 data and you need to plot 1,000 graphs. Yeah, okay, so WHO has this very useful tool known as the WHO Entro Plus. Yeah, okay, you can download and insert all the details and information in the software, where you will be able to use that to plot, okay, and also to categorize them. So that is actually very useful. You have to work with a lot of data. Yeah, especially if it's community or research project related. Yeah. So assessment of growth, yeah, okay, is very important, and in Malaysian setting, and I believe it's the same in Indonesia. Growth is monitored even from the day the baby born. Yeah, okay, until now in monitoring only until the age of 2 years. Unless there are any further complications of the child, then they will continue to actually be monitored as they go along. In fact, we should be monitoring our children from age 0 years to 5. But because okay, we parents only go to the clinic kesihatan, or what we call as the community clinics, yeah, for the free vaccines, yeah, okay. So it's quite challenging for the nurses and also the nutritionists to encourage the parents to continue to go back to the clinics for monitoring of the growth. But once they go to school, then the growth and also their height and weight will also be continued to be measured, yeah, okay, in the school setting. Now, the WHO growth reference was actually a reconstruction of the 1997 National Center for Health Statistics, NCHS growth reference. Yeah. So it uses the original NCHS data, okay, but supplemented with other data, yeah, okay, that is a little bit more representative, yeah, okay, including also Asian population into this growth chart, so that it is what it can be widely used worldwide. Okay, that's why in Malaysia we highly recommend to use the WHO growth reference, yeah, both for the school age children and also for the those that's actually 5 years and below. Of course, there are also other growth reference like the IOTF, the International Obesity Task Force growth reference, that was also commonly used in the past. Okay, so these are the interpretation of the Z scores. Yeah, okay, you can see here. For those that's less than 5, yeah, okay, how do you categorize it? And then for those that's less than more than 5, yeah, okay, how do you categorize it? So the terminology that's used is actually different, yeah, okay. And like for instance, we don't use the word underweight for children. Yeah, we use the terminology thinness and also severe thinness. Yeah, for those that's below the between 2 SD and -3 SD, and also those that's below -3 SD, and severely obese and obese, yeah, for those that's 5 and 19 years old. Now, for those that's actually less than 5 years old, the terminology or the term obese is not used. Yeah, again, we use the word severely overweight or at risk of overweight. So it's very important that we are very clear of the interpretation and also the cutoffs that is used, yeah, to categorize and also to classify the children accordingly. Now, of course, there are drawbacks, yeah, okay, the use of body mass index, and we all know that, yeah, okay. If let's say the person is a little bit more muscular, yeah, okay, then their weight is higher, then when you calculate the BMI, perhaps it would be easily that the person will be categorized as overweight or obese. And same goes to skeletal muscle mass, you know, the the weight of the skeleton, okay, and the muscles, when you combine it and looking into that aspect, also would affect the results of the body mass index or the BMI. Now, you guys are all nutrition students, isn't it? What's the formula for BMI? Any one of you would like to perhaps do a quick revision before your exam? What's the formula of BMI?
You could type it in the chat box, please.
Yeah, you can also type it in the chat box. Yep. Hi. I'm sure you know the answer.
Hello.
Yeah. Oh, very shy. Huh?
Always shy, yeah. Please me. Yes.
I say I haven't sit for exam yet, and I'm tested now. Okay, the BMI formula is usually we use it in kilograms. Yeah, okay. We kilograms per meter square. Okay, kg. Right, divide by we convert the centimeters to meters. Yeah, okay. So this is actually usually the formula. So you need to have the weight of the person and also the height of the person for the calculation of the BMI. Yeah. Now, the drawback is that, okay, because it is really age dependent. Yeah, I guess so. You cannot use like a general cutoff for all children. That's why it's very complex when we do body mass index calculation and also categorization for children. A lot of my undergraduate students get very stressed out when they work with this data, because you have to look at, you have to get the date of birth for the child. Yeah, okay, then you have to calculate it. How many years and how many months is this particular person based on today's date per se, or based on the date that the data was collected. Yeah, and then after that, you need to look at the graph. Okay, if indeed you're looking, you refer to the graph, and then after you need to plot it on. Yeah, okay, it can be very tedious because you cannot have like a general cutoff for all children of different ages. So this is the drawback. Yeah, okay. If we were to use BMI for children, okay, that's why WHO came out with those graphs, and also with that Anthroplast software, which is very, very useful and it's very, very easy to be used. Yeah, and of course it correlates with body fat mass and fat-free mass also, despite the fact that, okay, yeah, okay, we know that when there is an increase in BMI, we usually assume that there is also an increase in body fat mass, but it will also it's also related to increase in fat-free mass, okay, because it's all about the weight. It's unable to differentiate, yeah, okay, the difference between the fat and also the muscles, right? And it is low in sensitivity, yeah, okay, and again, like I said, there is no indication of body fat distribution, yeah. So those are the limitations with regards to BMI. Now, there is another way, okay, that can also help with the categorization and also to identify whether or not the child is at risk, yeah, okay, of health-related complications due to excessive body fat in the body, would be the measurement of waist circumference. Now, waist circumference is also a very simple method to be used. Yeah, you just need to have a measuring tape. Yeah, measure around your waist. Yeah, okay. Usually, what we do is that we need to find where is the last bone of your the iliac crest, and then after that, yeah, okay. That's what we call as the Isaac standard, yeah, okay. The measurements of body composition that is a lot more. High in standard, yeah, I would say, but what we do is that, okay, so that it's really quick and easy, would be to measure it right above the umbilical cord, the umbilicus of the person, yeah, okay, and you put 2 fingers above, and from there, okay, that would be the measurement that you can do to measure the central body fat accumulation in children. And you'll be surprised, a lot of people think that it's just adults that has central body fat accumulation. It's not true. Okay? A lot of children nowadays also have this issue. And this is also something that is very sensitive and it's very easy to be used. Yeah, okay. And but again, it is also age and sex specific. I'm not sure whether or not in Indonesia you have a waist circumference percentile curve for Indonesian children that you can refer to as a reference. Do you have that?
No, we don't
No.
have that yet. No.
Dr. Siti don't have that yet. Okay. And now in Malaysia, I'm sure Dr. Siti knows Professor Paul B. Kuhn. Yeah, she came out with the waist circumference percentile curves for Malaysian children and adolescents. Yeah, and this was very useful, definitely, because now with this information, we can also know, yeah, okay, whether or not children are with abdominal obesity or not. And it's a lot easier for us also to identify whether or not the children has metabolic syndrome, okay, because waist circumference is the first criteria, yeah, okay, for us to look at whether or not it has met the criteria of metabolic syndrome for children, okay, which I'll explain a little bit what exactly is metabolic syndrome later on, yeah. Now, there's another one that is now a lot more popularized, definitely, which is the bioimpedance analysis, or the main thing that it measures would be the body fat percentage, yeah? Right, okay. There are many tools, of course. This is the very famous in-body tool. Yeah, okay, that's the most expensive at the moment. But it's not the most expensive, I would say, but it's popular, but it's also expensive at the same time. And there are a lot of weight management companies, clinics, they have been purchasing this. Yeah, okay. I'm not sure is in-body popular in Indonesia. I understand that Seka is a bit more popular in Indonesia in comparison to in-body's bioimpedance tools. But this is just one of the bioimpedance tools that's available. Okay? There are many, many different companies, yeah, okay, that's coming out with all these sophisticated measures, yeah, okay, for you to, all you need to do is just stand on it, hold the 2 bars, and it will run some analysis, yeah, okay, with whatever that you have with your body, and they will be able to know whether or not, yeah, okay, you have high body fat or not. Now, of course, children that are too young, yeah, okay, certain machines are unable to assess that. Yeah, okay, but usually by 9 years old or 10 years old, like especially if you were to use this Karada tool, you will be able to get the analysis and the result from there. And this is also something that is very useful. Yeah, but if you do not have all these sophisticated bioimpedance analysis measures on machines, yeah, okay, you can always go for the classic, yeah, okay, which is the skin fold thickness method, yeah, okay, to assess and also to measure the body fat percentage, where it does look like it's dangerous, but it's actually not as scary. But perhaps if, let's say, you were to be working with children, then you will, they may be hesitant, yeah, okay, seeing that you need to use these calipers to clip on their skin a little bit. And it's not just around the abdominal area, okay, you will need to also measure this at the mid upper arm circumference area, yeah, okay, and also a few other spots, yeah, okay, which I believe when you learn about body composition assessment, you would know that these are some of the classic methods of body fat assessment. Of course, we have also more sophisticated machines like DEXA and all, yeah, okay, which I'm not going to elaborate so much about that. Now, currently, okay, with regards to the reference for body fat, yeah, okay, the only one that I know that's available for children is by McCarthy. Yeah, okay, Professor David McCarthy, who will also be speaking during the upcoming international conference, the Malaysian Society of Body Composition conference that we're having in November. Online virtually, so everyone that's in Indonesia, you can join too. Yeah, okay. He will be sharing a lot more about it, okay, during this session. And in fact, Professor David McCarthy is our very own visiting professor in UCSI University. Yeah, okay. So we will be working quite closely with him on this. So his tabulated body fat percentile is one of those that's been used, but the limitation with regards to this is definitely because it's working with Caucasian children. Yeah, okay. So it may not be so suitable for Asians. Yeah, okay. We do not have this data yet in Malaysia and in other regions, I believe. Yeah, okay. We lack of this data that we can actually come up with. Yeah, okay. Since we do quite a bit of screening, yeah, okay, with regards to weight and obesity and fat related percentages and all in children, then it can be something that we can use as a growth reference too. Yeah, okay. So, yep. So those are the measurements and the definition of weight and obesity that are easily accessible and available and easily can be used, yeah, okay, to assess the health situation of children. Now we also know, okay, what are the causes? What's the cause of childhood obesity? Yeah, okay, we know that it's all about the imbalance, yeah, okay, in our intake and the imbalance in our expenditure. Yeah, okay, it's all about that. Yeah, okay, and we also know that obesity is very complex, multifaceted problem, and you can see here how complex is this map. Yeah, okay. It's so complex that you can't even see what are all, yeah, okay, that's here. But it's generally categorized into societal influences, individual psychological influences, environmental, individual physical activity, biological, food consumption, food production. All these, okay, would somehow or another, okay, be related to how obesity is developed and how we can also manage obesity. So the figure here actually describes the existence of a very complex web, okay, involving societal and biological factors that have in recent decades exposed our inherent vulnerability to weight gain and also obesity. This is another conceptual framework that was compiled by Ms. Ang, yeah, okay, or Dr. Ang now, right, and together with Professor Paul Wigun, yeah, okay, where they categorized, yeah, the factors that's related to child obesity to unmodifiable and also modifiable ones. So the unmodifiable ones are usually the intrauterine factor that's related to what happens in the mother's womb. Yeah, okay, the first 1,000 days of life. Yeah. And then also the genetic aspects. But definitely both of these unmodifiable factors would be affected by the environment interaction. Yeah. Which hand in hand, yeah, okay, also contributes to child obesity. But of course, in terms of ethnicity also, okay, that's also something that we know certain groups of people are a bit more predisposed, you know, towards obesity in comparison to the other. Yep, and we have the modifiable factors, the things that we can change, yeah, like for instance, socioeconomic status, yeah, lifestyle changes, yeah, okay, which comprises of the physical activity and the diet, yeah, okay, things that we can change, yeah, on a daily basis. Our sleep, yeah, how many of you have not been sleeping well during the pandemic? you know, because you're so comfortable at home. You sleep late, you wake up late, yeah, okay? or you've been sleeping in class, yeah, okay, because you now don't put your camera on. Sometimes I tell my students, you know, okay, I don't even know whether or not you're actually present in my class or not, yeah, okay, because you don't put your camera on at all, which can be something that you know, okay, can affect our sleep, yeah, okay, but also the screen time that we're having all the time here, that can also affect our sleep, you know. And of course, parental determinants, which includes the smoking, you know, work schedules, all this can also affect a child's weight. Yeah. Now, there is another ecological model, okay, of etiology of child overweight that was developed by Davidson and also Birch. Yeah, okay, and this was one of the theories that I actually followed closely. Yeah, okay, when I was doing my master's, and it really looked into all the aspects. Yeah, okay, from the child behavior to the parenting and feeding practices to the community and demographic factors. Yeah, okay. So you can see how complex it is. Yeah, okay. So many factors can affect childhood weight. Yeah, and all these needs to be taken into consideration. Now, what did I find, okay, when I did my study, okay, during my master's program? So what I did was that I actually studied the familial and also the social environmental factors, yeah, okay, that's related to overweight and obesity in children. And this study was among 1,430 children, yeah, okay, in the whole of Klang Valley in Malaysia. In Kuala Lumpur itself, which is the city, and also Selangor, right? Age 9 to 12 years old in primary school children. Yeah, okay. So, and in this study, I found that children's BMI is actually positively correlated with the parents' BMI. So, as long as the parent, either one of the parent is actually overweight, it's very likely that their child will also be overweight. So it can be quite complex, yeah, okay, the relationship itself. And when it comes to feeding practices and styles of the parents, yeah, concern about child's weight, restriction that's used, like you stop them from eating certain food, it actually somehow or another backfires. Yeah, okay. And children are found to actually have a higher BMI when their parents are very concerned of their weight, when their parents always control and restrict the kind of food that they actually consume. Whereas for parents who actually pressures their child to be eating, their BMI is actually lower. Okay, so this is more to the psychological aspects of the behavior, yeah, okay, of eating behavior, yeah, okay, of the children. Yeah? Another thing that I also studied was the neighborhood safety perception, yeah, of the parents, and this was found to also be negatively related. So when the parents feel that the neighborhood is not so safe, yeah, okay, then it's very likely that their child's weight will also be higher because they actually lack physical activity. And this was consistently found in another study here that I did, yeah, okay, also to further study about it. And yes, parents
Bunda, abang mau tertawa lagi di
towards traffic hazards, you know, okay, it's very likely that they are less active. Yeah, okay, the children are less active because of that. Now, what are the consequences of child obesity? Okay, it is actually, there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of consequences that's related to it, but I can categorize it to a few. Yeah, okay, mainly the cardiovascular disease. Yeah, the cardiovascular disease, the muscular related disorders, okay, which you can see even children can also have osteoarthritis, joint pains, yeah, okay, and even some that is related to cancer, you know, okay. Of course, psychologically also, yeah, okay, all these are going to be affected, yeah, okay, if the child continue to be overweight and obese. And I studied about metabolic syndrome and looking into insulin resistance and inflammation issues in children. Insulin resistance and inflammation, yeah, okay. So insulin resistance is more of like before the development of diabetes, yeah, okay, our body is trying to manage the elevated glucose levels, yeah, okay, where the insulin is highly produced. And a lot of times, okay, inflammation is also happening in our body when we are actually overweight and obese, yeah, okay, and relating it with metabolic syndrome. So for this one, okay, this was actually part of my PhD work. Yeah, I had two groups of children. Yeah, okay, one group was the overweight and the obese. Another group were the normal weight children, around 10 to 11 years old. I had to screen a total of 1,900 children to be able to get this sample, because it's not easy to find that many get overweight and obese children, despite the fact that there's so many of them here in Malaysia, but not all of them gave consent. So although the prevalence of metabolic syndrome, okay, which is what we call as a situation where there's a combination of different cardiovascular related health complications that's related to like hypertension, you know, okay, dyslipidemia, yeah, okay, high blood glucose level, yeah, okay, but they are not in the category of having to be diagnosed until the extent that they have to take medications, yeah, okay, to control the situation, but they are at risk, yeah, okay. So I studied about that, yeah, and only 3.8% of them, yeah, out of these 235 had metabolic syndrome, which is quite low. But when we look at the insulin resistance situation, it's actually quite high, almost half, yeah, 45.5%, and 28.1% of them actually had high risk of inflammation. Yeah? Again, this inflammation was measured by the C-reactive protein, high HSCRP. Then I further looked into also the psychological factors, yeah, okay, and how this can actually be related to overweight and obesity. And interestingly, I related it with cognition. And it's not just those cardiovascular related health complications that we found, but children who were with overweight and obese situation, when we look at their cognitive scores, they had an average 4.075 units lower in cognitive function score in comparison to the normal weight children. And this was measured using the Wechsler Intelligence Scale for Children, yeah, okay, the WISC scale. A continuation of the study that I looked at for the insulin resistance study. And such difference was found through these mediators, yeah, okay, the body image dissatisfaction, disordered eating, depression, okay. So children who are overweight and obese, they also have the risk of disordered eating. They also have the risk of depression, which is very, very surprising, yeah, okay, because they are very young only, okay? It's around like 9 to 10 years old, but yet you can see all these adult diseases, yeah, okay, reported among the children, yeah, okay, reported among the children. So this was my model, and it was very complex. Okay, so I'm not gonna explain this as much. Okay, so yeah, so when it comes to prevention and management, it's always gonna be difficult, okay, because it requires collaboration between multi-stakeholders. Yeah, but let's target mainly the general prevention or the primary prevention. Yeah, okay, because that's where we as nutrition and also food science background people can really help and do and make a difference. Yeah, so these are the recommendations for the prevention of obesity and overweight in early and middle school age years. Yeah, but let me summarize it so that it's a bit easier, because I think time is running. So we have to definitely target physical activity. This is something that needs to be targeted. This is from the Malaysian Dietary Guidelines. Although it's from Malaysia, but I believe it is applicable also in other parts of the world. Yeah, okay, lower down screen time. This should actually be the lowest, right? Okay, and we should increase more structured physical activities, yeah, okay, exercises, and be physically active every day. That would mean that we should move more, you know, okay, walk around. Even walking makes a huge difference, yeah. Walking, the recommendation is around, although this is really high, but at least we try lah, yeah, okay, to hit around 5,000-6,000 steps, better than nothing. Okay, nowadays during the pandemic, I think my band is only showing less than 1,000 steps per day. Okay, it's very, very low. So we need to really work harder on this. Yeah, okay? And this similar recommendation can be given and used for children too. And yeah, I would like to also introduce to you our newly launched and also hot from the oven Malaysian food pyramid, where the fruits and vegetables are something that we should emphasize in our diet. Yeah, okay. And this can help with the prevention of overweight and obesity. Okay, I think I better stop here. Yeah, okay. Since time is running out. Okay, thank you so much for your time and thank you for listening.
Thank you, Dr. Serene, for it's a very interesting talk. I do not see any question in the chat box, but I have a question actually. Thank you very much, because I just realized that, not just realized, I mean for you to highlight about the different name about the cutoff, let's say, to categorize overweight and obesity between children and older children, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
then you also mentioned about waist circumference among children. So I would like to know how close is the relationship between waist circumference and BMI among children.
When I did the my project, yeah, okay, I actually had data for both the waist circumference and also all yeah, body fat, you know, BMI, and also the body fat percentage. And I can see that the sensitivity of the waist circumference measure is definitely higher, because despite the fact that they are actually overweight, you know, okay, but we couldn't detect that they are actually also at risk, you know, of cardiovascular comorbidities, you know, okay, because, you know, overweight can be just like a borderline overweight and all, you know. So with the waist circumference, actually it's actually even better. Is an even better measure in comparison to BMI, because BMI is really not sensitive. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then now I have 3 questions. So I will just summarize. One is, would you please to elaborate on the association between sleep pattern and obesity? And then the second question is,
Obesity.
children loves drink boba, whether will it make them obese? And then the last one is how to prevent this obesity during pandemic. Is there any special trick?
I will take the last question first. Yeah, okay, how to prevent child obesity during pandemic. I think this one, when it comes to children, parents actually play a huge role. You know, I've seen a lot of my neighbors, you know, okay, because we're all locked down right now. They actually let their children come out and play, you know, okay. That makes a huge difference, because we're now always online, you know, okay, sitting in front of a computer. It's not like when you were physically in school, where you get to walk around. At least you get to walk to the toilet. Yeah, okay. Of course, there's a lot of limitation and restriction now because of the pandemic. They can't even go to the canteen to eat. Yeah, they eat on their table, you know, okay. Yeah. But yeah, I think a lot of effort needs to be made by the parents when it comes to the prevention of child obesity during the pandemic. But the plus point in regards to the pandemic is that there were a lot of those who are underweight children, yeah, okay, they are gaining weight. And I think it's the same situation in Indonesia. The double burden malnutrition is a concern in Indonesia too. Yeah, so those who are stunted, you know, okay, those who are underweight, those are also something that we need to curb other than just child obesity. So there's pros and cons with the current situation on the pandemic itself. Children loves to drink boba. Okay, I think now because of the pandemic, they are drinking less. I'm not sure, okay, but I think so because even I myself, yeah, okay, I don't get to go to all these shops as often. Some even closed down. The one near UCSI actually closed down. The boba shop, yeah, okay, but yeah, so I think yes, it does contribute to the sugar intake, yeah, okay, of the I mean on a daily basis. It's something that we parents have to actually keep watch and be aware of. Okay, the association between sleep pattern and obesity. I'm not sure if we're talking about the clinical aspect of sleep pattern. Yeah, okay, because obesity has been found to be related to sleep apnea, you know, okay, that means when they sleep, right, okay, suddenly they may stop breathing for a few seconds, you know, okay, and that is very, very dangerous. Yeah, okay, there are some clinical implications. In fact, I have one publication that's looking into the sleep habits of children and how it's related to obesity and also cognition, but I did not manage to share today. Yeah, but it's indeed something that is of a concern too, yeah, okay, among the children itself.
Okay.
And
And then
one
last question is about whether there is, with this pandemic, increase the obesity or not, incidence of obesity.
I would say it actually puts them in higher risk. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because we are definitely less active. Yeah, I was doing a study even just among universities. Yeah, okay, my student was just using the International Physical Activity Questionnaire to assess the physical activity of university students. Yeah. A lot of them, if you're familiar with the physical activity questionnaire,
Yeah.
a lot of them have zero MET scores. Zero. I told the student, I said, is this correct? The data is correct, or is it wrong, or they did not understand the questionnaire correctly, you know?
Correct.
But I think it is correct. we are like just in front of the computer, you know. The most we go to the toilet, to the kitchen. Yeah, yeah. I think it's especially worse because of the online learning.
And maybe this is the last question. It's about adiposity rebound in obesity.
I think adiposity rebound is also a very complex situation. It's because it's all about behavioral change, you know, okay, behavioral maintenance. You need to maintain the good dietary habits and the good physical activity habits. Yeah, okay. And we're talking about children. It's very likely that there is a rebound if parents are not keeping watch. You know, children get too excited after they lost weight, then they start eating or too much, you know, okay, because of all the restriction. Yeah, okay. So it is something that is real, but it's possible to be managed still. Yeah, despite that there is a rebound. I mean, weight management experts, you know, okay, physicians, they can still continue to intervene. Yeah, okay, but definitely the motivation level of the people, the child can be affected a little, but it's not totally impossible to manage. Yeah.
Okay. So this is also about the steps per day, 1,200.
Yeah, 12,000 steps is very difficult to meet. The Malaysian dietary guideline, if I'm not mistaken, we are putting it a bit lower than the 10,000 steps now, because even 10,000 steps is also close to impossible unless you go for a holiday, you know. Okay, and nowadays
Yeah.
go for holidays now. It's very unlikely that you'll be walking 10,000 steps. But to increase, yeah, okay, I have done it before in UCSI. Roland would know that the building that we are in, yeah, okay, I'm actually on the 9th floor. So we try to take the stairs, you know, okay. It makes a huge difference, yeah, despite all the panting and everything.
Yeah.
You know, okay, I mean, at least we try lah, yeah, okay. So once it is off working time or studying time, yeah, okay, always turn your laptop off, yeah, okay, put your phone aside, and even if it's just climbing the stairs in your house, yeah, okay, it makes a huge difference.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ms. Serene, for the presentation, and thank you very much for the audience about the. It turns out many questions, but I'm sorry if we cannot take all the questions because time is limited. Now I would like to invite Mr. Roland to share your screen, please.
Yeah, I think
Serene,
I
please
need
don't
to
leave
share.
first.
Okay, sure. Let me
Serene,
find where
please
is the.
don't leave first, yeah, Miss Serene. Roland, have you been able to?
Yeah, I think I can go in. Just I need to search for my file.
I thought you have prepared it.
Yes, it's somewhere. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for those who attend this webinar, please fill in the evaluation form as well as. So your evaluation form is the attendance form as well, and we will send you a certificate.
Sorry, there is a bit of problem here.
Can you make it or not?
Okay, I think I'm having a problem with my laptop right now.
Maybe
Okay.
you can just give an introduction, a short bit, please.
Yes, I think so. Okay. Just take a while. Let me. Where is the file?
Or you can just say something.
Because it was ready just now. I think it's due to some other form that I missed up. Okay. Can you see the screen?
Not yet.
No. Now you can see the screen, right?
Yes, now it appears.
You have the voice as well, the sound as well.
No, we can't hear.
No, we only see your folder.
Yeah, we only see your folder though.
I think. Okay, I think I have a technical issue here. Okay.
Yes.
Just a few brief about UCSI universities. Okay. Basically, we are now under the QS World Ranking. We have climbed up the ladder. We are now at 341. So definitely for UCSI, we do welcome the staff, the students of i3L to come and explore the possibility to joining our postgraduate program. We have quite a number of postgraduate programs for biotechnology, for food science, nutrition, as well as research-based applied sciences. So yeah, if you want to know more about this information, basically you can visit UCSI website, which I will tap in the note just later on. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Just a small message on that. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much, Roland, for your invitations, and hopefully with this we will also strengthen our collaboration.
Yeah.
Virda, okay, so please, this is the web address of UCSI. Yeah, Dr. Serene, thank you for your participation today. And this is the evaluation form to scan. Virda, are you ready with the certificate for Dr. Serene? Hello, Virda. Hello, Virda.
Yeah, Bu.
Certificate, is it ready for Dr. Serene?
Oh yeah. Wait, ya, Bu. Wait.
Yes. Virda?
Wait a second, Bu. On process. I think my laptop is slowed down a bit.
So many technical issues today.
Yeah. Wait a second.
Okay, this YouTube is for the, okay, so that there is a YouTube link for the UCSI information. Vida, it seems. So I'm sorry, Dr. Serene.
It's okay. It's okay.
Just do it. Okay. So here is, we would like to present you our certificate of appreciation for your talk today. Hopefully, thank you for your time very much. We will send this via email to you later on. But this is the, what do you call it? The ceremony now.
Thank you. Thank you. So nice of you to get it ready before it.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. So with that, so I think we come to the end of this board talk today. Thank you very much for all the participants who have attended this webinar. Thank you, Dr. Serene. Thank you, Roland. Thank you also for all staffs. Please send our greetings to staffs in UCSI. And thank you for all the attendance for today. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Thanks. Bye.